Hello, Matt.
Hi, Gabby.
How are you?
I'm excited. I'm good. Thank you.
So, hello, everyone. This is Matt, the insurgent.
Hi, guys. This is Gabby. This is beautiful merch Yag House owner. Please check it out, guys. The link is going to be in the description.
Period. Okay, so new album, huh? Are you excited?
Oh my God. Never been excited out in my life.
Okay, so today I'm going to ask you some questions about your album and about your life, and just so the viewers would know more about you and your art. So, new album. How is it called?
It does call Imperfection.
Imperfection. So what does it represent in your life right now?
So the album Imperfection, first of all, why did I chose this name? Because from my perspective, nothing in this life is actually perfect. None of the humans, none of the systems we're creating, nothing is perfect. People just trying to make it perfect, and I realized that my album is also not perfect. None of the songs are perfect. As more as I created specific projects or songs, I've just realized it's never gonna be perfect, and this is why I chose this name. But if we're talking about representing what this album represents, so as you can see, the album cover is with the mask. The mask we always wear every single day, in all of our lives. And finally, with this album, I could take my mask off to show myself from the sides I wanted to show. And literally, every single song, it's not about just one specific genre or one specific type. It absorbs a lot of different genres, and every single song will give people a specific emotion. What I also wanted to include in it. So this whole album contains variety of emotions.
Nice. Good answer. So I know you've been making music almost all your life. But when you first started making music, did you ever imagine reaching this point of having your own album?
So back in the day, actually, my main goal was to be a mainstream DJ, to play in the festivals in front of the massive crowds and to hype everyone, and but about an album, of course, probably it was in one of my goals, but in the future, But to reach specifically this point where I'm now releasing an album and talking in front of everyone and stuff, yeah, I never imagined that. This idea just came up super randomly and just maybe a few weeks ago.
Okay. So I know it's hard to stay consistent with all your hobbies, and I know I've been there, done that. So, how did you stay consistent during times when nothing seemed to move forward?
It was pretty rough. The whole 13 years in music industry for me, it wasn't straight away 13 years. It was with a big gaps. And one of the recent gaps I've had, it was last year. I literally stopped making music for 1 year because I wanted just to settle down my goals in life, what I actually want to work, what I actually want to do, and yeah, just simply speaking, just wanted to just set up my goals, So it wasn't I wasn't consistent at all.
Okay. So, what would you say to someone who feels like they're putting in effort but not seeing the results?
I would say, guys, don't be afraid to take gaps. don't be afraid to take breaks. All these breaks were taken, you're always putting yourself into different situations, and from those situations we're learning, we're gaining more knowledge, and then eventually at some point something clicks in your mind, and then you're literally realizing something about your project you never realized before, but only because you just took a rest. It could be a day, it could be a week, it could be, half a year or the whole year, But eventually it's gonna click only because your brain's rested. So this is what helped me. So the advice for the people as well.
Not be afraid to rest.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so let's move on into talking more about the song itself. So the first song is called Whistle. So why did you choose Whistle as both the intro and the outro of the album?
The whole song builds up in 64 beats. Through this whole period, it just builds up the hype. And then when the drop kicks in, you just want to let yourself go. The chaos kicks in, the melody, the bass line, everything just gets you, and you're just probably feeling free, we can say. And why did I chose it as an intro and outro? Also because there are vocals who says, do not stop. Whatever you do in life, do not stop. And this mixture between the vocals and the whole track, or instrumental, we can say, it just gives this massive, beautiful emotion, which could fit on intro and on the outro as well.
So are you saying that this track represents the full journey of the whole album in one piece? Okay. So what feeling do you want listeners to have when they hear it for the first time, and then again at the end?
Whatever you do in life, just don't stop it. Take a gap, take a break, but never fucking stop.
That's
eventually
beautiful.
you will be somewhere,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, by the time you're gonna meet new people, you're gonna find new contacts, or you're gonna do something way different, but the dots probably gonna connect, and you're gonna maybe include that side hustle to your main one, so just never stop, guys.
Beautiful. I should take this advice myself. Okay, so moving on to the second song, Nine in the Sky, or Bevine Dangui, a Lithuanian classic. I bet all Lithuanians know this song. So, as a Lithuanian yourself, how important it is to stay connected to the roots while chasing bigger dreams?
Oh, massively. A lot. Like, you should. You never should forget about where you're from. Because, as you can see, this is the real example, right? Eventually, you're coming back to your country's songs, and then you're realizing maybe, oh, this song is very popular in my country, so why couldn't just remix it, It's just gonna make you a positive impact in your whole career, I guess.
Have you ever felt pressure to just fit into different culture or sound?
I'm pretty sure everyone does. Everyone does feel this pressure, and we're human beings. We always compare ourselves with others. We're always like feeling being judged or whatever. And it's like, when you're creating this kind of remix from your own language and you're representing it to a different culture, people doesn't understand your language. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to fit with this kind of thing. But at the same time, you just know that it's good for you, and it's good for your people, for example, the ones who also came up to this country, and maybe they're gonna listen and they're gonna like it. So it's just probably it's a message with the song that if the people who are with me in this country, they're gonna also feel a little bit nostalgic about their country. They're never gonna forget it, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So, what would you say to people who feel like they need to change themselves to succeed?
Oh, so first things first, guys. Remember that people don't change; people learn. And if you feel you're changing for someone, that is the worst case scenario in life. Don't do it. Change for yourself, not for others. Learn for yourself. Gain knowledge. And use that knowledge for the good, for your own, you know? Also, don't forget to share it with someone who needs it.
So, more about the song. So, why did you choose to remix Nine in the Sky or Living It Tango?
I don't know. I was just sitting once somewhere, I don't know, and or maybe I was sitting with my friends and we're just listening to Lithuanian songs, and I was like, I just remembered this song randomly, and I was like, oh, this actually would sound very good in DNB, you know? It would be awesome. It would hype people, especially Lithuanians. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, so the bass of the song, like main song, is pretty slow. And I was like, how my brains work, it actually takes the song and actually in the brain makes it in DNB. Like I'm literally like stretching song or merging song, you know, specifically vocals. And then I'm singing into my head and then it's adding the drum and bass beat. And then I'm like thinking, would it sound better when it's faster or when it's slower? You know what I mean? And why did I choose it? I don't know. It's just because it really sounded good in my head.
Okay, well, it's a classic, so can't judge you. So how did you transform it into drum and bass version while keeping its soul?
So as if we jump on a project, as you can see, we have our main vocal, right? So what I like the most actually from my software where I'm creating is FL Studio, that with the new update, you can now extract the stems from the track. So if you're taking the main track, you can choose what you want to extract from it. For example, like drums, instrumental, the whole beat, or vocals. And this is what I did. I just extracted the vocal, and of course it's not super clear, you know, because this extraction is based on AI. So AI is trying to, you know, its best to extract it as clean as possible. But obviously you can hear some rough parts where it's not super soft or super beautiful. Anyways, so what I did with this vocal, I just extended, stretched it, just to, you know, make it with the BPM. BPM is 174 as it is in a drum and bass genre. And yeah, this is our vocal. And it's actually, I just started to add some sounds. It's one of them is like this, just steps, little steps, which just makes song full. Then we have some beautiful lead or synth, which added as well. The Reese bass, of course, to make it more, you know, heavy. And then just some percussions and whatever, and this is what we get. Then what I did, I just added a new bass line, like this, right? So we can hear already that tension is growing, and obviously drum and bass beat. Yeah. So yeah, this is actually how everything went. And then on the second part of the song, I wanted to put some happiness for Lithuanians. And this happiness obviously comes up from the techno, because in Europe we actually are based on techno, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a techno.
So what I did is actually just add the same bass line, but just different beat, right? So as we're listening it from the build-up, This is what I imagine that like all Lithuanians are like, oh!
Oh yeah.
The clap kicks in. Yeah, and then we're flipping back again to drum and bass, and yeah, I thought it's actually really good. It's really good. What's the word? Interpretuoti.
Interpret. Interpret.
Interpret. Yeah. So it's very good.
Interpret.
Interpret it, yeah, to just like to make it with a Lithuanian vocal and with Lithuanian music, you know, like what Lithuanians actually do like, you know. So yeah, this is how I actually built up this song. A lot of different sounds, and yeah.
Love it. Can't wait to hear it in one of the Lithuanian parties.
That would be awesome, actually.
So, what does this track represent for you personally?
My country, actually. My country parties, you know, like we all do hear these songs back in the clubs.
Yeah.
Back in the cities, and it's a very nostalgic track, to be honest. Sorry, it's a very old track, and to make it alive again, that would be actually one of my dreams as well. If that would become popular back in Lithuania. So what it represents, I don't know, just nostalgia to me.
Yeah, that's nice. I love that. Okay, so moving on to the third song called Attention Beggar. So this track, as I know, has like multiple genres. It sounds really interesting. So have you ever been told to stick to one style or lane?
Yeah, obviously I've heard these things as a research through all my years in the music industry. Of course, it's like because of the marketing, it's better to just stick with one genre and, you know, just to promote yourself into that specific type of music. But yeah, I've been told, but I actually didn't care about it. You know, like I just listen to everything. I'm the person who listens to everything, and I like to create whatever I want to create. So eventually, after this album release, people are gonna choose what they want to listen, what kind of songs they're gonna choose, and yeah.
So why do you think people are afraid to experiment?
That's probably basically because of the judgment, you know, because like, oh, you know, our culture does not listen to this kind of music and it sounds terrible or whatever, and then people are like closing up in themselves.
Yeah.
And yeah, it actually sucks, this kind of stuff.
So personally, what advice would you give to someone who's scared to try something new?
The world contains 8 billion people, literally 8 billion people. Stop thinking about others and do it for yourself, because you like it. This album, what I'm releasing right now, this is what I like. I don't care what other people are gonna say, you know? Like, some people are gonna choose their own specific songs, what you're gonna listen. Maybe it's gonna be more sad songs, maybe it's gonna be more hyped, maybe it's gonna be this one dubstep track, you know? But I do not care what people are saying, specifically about my projects. Never let any idiot talk you back from your ideas. This is the main thing.
Hell yeah. Amen to that. So okay, going back to your song.
Let's go.
So this track blends multiple genres.
Yes.
So what pushed you to go that far?
So actually this whole track was created for the competition. Two of the guys I know in Australia, they are also both producers and actually pretty famous DJs in here. And they created this competition with their own song. And I was like, I want to make something very, very heavy. Because actually the original song it was drum and bass, but it actually sounded, for me, it sounded, oh my God, super crispy, something very itchy, scratchy brain thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, we can push somewhere forward. You know, we can push harder. And I was like, firstly, I've created a dubstep art, and yeah, I love it so much. It's just, it's heavy. It's scratching your brains, and then I was thinking, should I stick with the dubstep or should I vary it to a little bit more genres? So yeah, I decided to go forwards with a drum bass and drum step.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how do you make that chaos sound intentional?
Oh, so firstly, we can actually jump on a project.
Yeah.
And firstly, what I took was, was my guy's stems, the parts of their original song. And as you can see, it contains a lot of lines, a lot of genre, a lot of sounds, I mean, and a lot of stuff. And sorry, well, give me a second. It's intentional. So we can start actually from the beat, which is actually pretty simple. Just right. This is actually basic dubstep beat, but when you're adding some sounds, like, give me a second, we're gonna we're gonna show the main parts actually of what it makes so heavy. Give me a second, what is going on? Anyways, yeah, we're gonna show this part, and so you can hear this whole chaos as high frequencies mixes up with the bass sounds, the bass notes, and obviously the sounds from the stems, adding biggest details as well as. Give me a second. This and this. We're gonna do this and this. So this is the stems from the song, like the growls, like this, like this. It's like the chops as well. Everything was just perfect. And like, yeah, I know my album calls Imperfection, but this stuff for me was one of the biggest things I love in my whole album. Yeah, so how did I make this feel full emotion? Oh, sorry. How did I make chaos sound so intentional? It's just, yeah, because of these whole sounds, just like perfectly fulfill each other. This is why probably.
Nice. Okay, well, this song is pretty hard. So, was this track a risk for you creatively?
I couldn't say that the track would be a risk. Like, as I mentioned before, every finished project you're releasing, you're getting new people, you know, all the time, new listeners who are just joining your channel, for example, or they're liking this song. So I think neither of the song is a risk. It's more like an opportunity that you're gonna be seen by someone, you know, bigger or better.
So, the fourth song is called Angels and Moonbeams.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Basically because I found this vocal in one of my files, and I was like, actually, ooh, that's a very beautiful vocal, and it says angels and moonbeams, and this is how actually the name came up.
And what's the message of the song?
So the whole song is very, very simple, and I thought that people don't have complexity to be meaningful.
So, do you think people overcomplicate things in life and art?
Sometimes, yes, definitely. Most of us doing things hardly than smart.
When did you learn that simplicity can be powerful?
Oh, I actually can't even remember. It just came up with my life, and probably probably because of the music. Um, I've learned once that as less things you're adding, as better it is for the people to listen, as easy it is to listen, especially. And yeah, this whole song is actually about how simple makes perfect.
Yeah, and we live in this society that is like filled with noise. So
Yes.
how can someone find clarity in the noisy world?
Oh, so as a human beings, we're always trying to search our comfort, right? So I don't know. We basically have all tools to find the things we like, and and yeah, that's probably would be my answer. We all do have all tools for our research.
Okay, so let's talk more about this song. So I know it's built on just like two chords,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Why?
Why? It's fun. Fun fact, actually. I was just Ubering, delivering food, right? And I'm just listening to my album songs, and I listening to this specific song, and I was like, I literally didn't realize it was like maybe 1 week ago. I was like, oh my god, this song actually has just two chords, just two chords, and then I referred this song to the Imagine Dragons, one of the Imagine Dragons songs they wrote for the Arcane TV series. It was the introduction of each episode, and they also wrote that song on two chords. And I was like, oh my god, why? I don't know. It just happened.
So some people say that when it's simple, it just lacks emotion. So how did you make it feel full emotionally?
Oh, as I mentioned before, when I added some sounds, I just created some harmonies. Specifically with the vocal, we can just check it actually. Um, so for example, if you can see this on the bottom, this is our all three parts of the vocal. And the main vocal part sounds like, yeah. This was the main vocal, and then I've added this vocal into one of the plugins I have, and I just literally changed the notes in the main vocal, and what we got is one of the parts. This is this one. You can hear how this whole part is on one note, and the next one is a little bit more. It has a little bit more variety. So we can listen to this one as well. Yeah, so this also varies with the main vocal, and all together they sound like this. Angels and moonbeams bring out the best in me, like and you can hear how everything actually is changing. So yeah, this is what creates actually the main emotion of the song, and obviously the main synth, which is, give me a second, I'm gonna show you this one as well. This one, the melody. I just loved it so much. I really like this whole sound. This whole sound. I found it in a Citrus plugin, and started to equalize it. Started to just play with it, and I just literally basically added just the equalizer and compressor. That's about it. And this whole sound is, I don't know, for me it sounds so perfect. The main part about this melody is that the whole beat is just 4x4, right? It's just like do 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 do, right? But I wanted to variate this melody to be a little bit off the beat. So if we can, for example, turn on the beat, we can hear that The melody is a little bit off, but it creates a very beautiful, you know. And when you're adding other sounds, it's just, you know what I mean? This whole melody gets out of the whole track, but this is how it's making its own way, we can say, to the people's ears, you know? Yeah. So this is how emotion was built up.
I love it. So what feeling were you trying to create here with this track?
Oh, so probably this, you know, like more beach vibe, you know, this like just chill out in life, you know, just we need a little bit more dance in life and yeah, just to be more relaxed and chill, we can say. Enjoy. Just enjoy the life, right? Sun is shining, the wind is blowing a little, and the ocean is also coming in, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so moving on with the fifth song called Back in Time.
Oh my God, my favorite. One of my favorites, sorry.
So, what's the message behind the song?
You can actually express your emotions into whatever project you're doing.
Not suppress them.
Specifically, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling, you know, these bad emotions, you can actually express them in your own projects.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel with pressure or frustration in your life?
Right now, I'm actually super calm. I've never been more calm in my life. Like, to compare me in my past and right now, it's just like everything just changed. You know, everything flipped.
So you're just like putting all the emotions, even the negative ones, into your art, into music?
Yes, definitely. It's basically the same as, you know, when you're coming up in a gym, you know, for example, breakup, right? And we all like, oh my God, we spent so much time, blah, 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 you know, and then you're going to the gym, just hit those weights and just, you know, push it out, push those toxins from yourself, we can say, right?
So are you saying that negative emotions can be productive?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So this track is pretty intense.
It does.
So what were you feeling when you were making it?
Oh, this whole track actually was really, really experimental. I was just experimenting with the bass line and I found out new ways how to implement the sound. And what I felt actually just curious. I wasn't even mad or anything, but like I was actually just curious and I was always like with this my bass face, you know, like, oh, like this is such a heavy bass line and whatever. Yeah, and that's about it. Like I was more curious than angry.
Okay. So is it more about expression or performance energy?
I mean, if I would perform this track, I could see the expressions in people's faces, you know what I mean? Like the bass face in people, in people's expression. Oh, that would be actually awesome. But yeah, it's about both. It's about both.
So how do you design that kind of aggression in the sound?
Oh, I can easily show you, actually.
Okay,
I can easily show you. So the whole track was, as I said, real experimental. And it gave me a lot of opportunity to just get into the sound design. And I really enjoyed it. Like it was just perfect, actually. How much things you can do in the software. And so first sound, actually, what I created was this one. As you can see, it contains a lot of automations. For example, if we're going to open it up, we can see how many things it takes to create just this sound. Yeah, exactly this one. And oh, I'm sorry. We have to turn on a little bit more things in here, right? Sorry, give me a second. That's actually a little bit more than yeah, a little bit more automations. Yay. Yeah, and this thing, when I created this thing, I was like, it actually missing the main bass line as a sub bass or just something cringy, you know. So this is where I added my favorites. One of my main sounds, actually, what I'm working with is I'm calling it cringy sound or cringy sound, and it sounds like this. Yeah. Exactly. So obviously it's layered with a sub bass, but but the thing is about this sound that I just open up my plugin of this sound, and I've noticed that you can manipulate the sound by just adding some distortion in here, as you can see. And I was just playing with the resonance. I just increased it to the maximum, which this whole window, as you can see, is just an equalizer, right? So you can just see where the frequency is at the exact moment. And on this part is, for example, like in the middle, for example, yeah. And each time it changes, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna attach this thing in here. And as you can see, as soon as it kicks, right, it stays in this position. And then when it kicks in, for example, here, it changes the position and it changes the sound, it changes the note. And this is what it made this track so, like, we can say different from the whole album, that it's really heavy, and these kind of sounds just like giving this super heavy energy, we can say. Then I've added some, obviously the Reese bass, one of my favorites. I found this sound on, I think on YouTube. I've seen some like videos about the heavy drum and bass and whatever, and this guy just added his created Reese bass, and it sounds like this. And it's like, I always wanted to create this like super filthy Reese bass that it could like, it seems like your eardrums are just getting like, you know, falling apart, you know what I mean? Like, obviously it was a lot of work with the sound. It's like, as you can see, there was only one automation, but in here, but it's just a filter. But the thing is, the effects, as you can see on this side, it contains a lot of effects. Obviously, I then put it on another bus, another channel, and added way more effects once again. And yeah, this is how we created this. Yeah, so the whole song is just, yeah, when the sounds are changing in these parts, I was just in love. I was literally just in love how to, you know what I mean? Yeah. And yeah, so basically that's it. Also about the second part of the song, if we're getting back to the question, how do you design that kind of aggression in the sound? So currently, right now, there is variety of drum and bass genres, right? But one of the top DnB genres are jump up, what young people are really in love to listen. And what it makes jump up so different is just a frog sound. And this is exactly what I did on the second drop. I just added frog sound. It's this thing. This is actually a frog sound. This is like, I can show you. Like originally, this thing sounds literally what frog says, right? So I just added it. I put it on a piano roll with different notes. I've added obviously some effects, and yeah, this is what we got. Of course, also on the second drop, I get rid of the sound I've showed you in the start, that like tiger sound, whatever, and I just love this like heavy bass line with this frog sound, and together they just sound like. Yeah. Yeah, and that's about it. So just wanted to create something like a jump up. I actually don't listen to jump up myself, but I always wanted to experiment with it. So I just felt like, yeah.
Well, experiment.
Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. So the sixth song of the album is called No Way.
Oh yeah, no way.
Okay, so have you ever doubted an idea that later turned out strong?
Oh, all the time. All the time, every single project. Oh no, it's not gonna be good, nobody's gonna listen to it. Like, and then you're like letting yourself go or whatever. And as I mentioned before, you're just coming back to the project after like a break, and eventually realizing some points that, oh, I didn't add this part or this part, and now it sounds super full, now it feels completed, so obviously, yes, I doubted myself on some projects.
So how do you know when to trust your vision?
Oh, as I mentioned before, like, do not let any idiot to talk you back from your ideas. We can say, right? It's just, if you feel that this thing is okay for you, so you're gonna find the people who's gonna like it too. Simply like that.
So what would you say to someone who's afraid of being different?
Different. Guys, we all different. Every single human being, every single soul in this world is different. Don't be afraid of that. You don't there are no norms in this world, actually. People just created it for themselves to just, to fit somewhere. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid to be different. Do whatever you want to do, especially with the art. Art is infinite. You can do and create in whichever way you want. And that's about it. Don't be afraid of yourself.
Nice. Yeah, agreed. So, talking more about the song, it's totally different from the previous song we heard. So, what makes this track something new in drum and bass for you?
Currently, drum and bass culture is experiencing, as I've seen a lot of videos actually, people are complaining that drum and bass became very similar. And this similarity makes people bored. It's nothing new. This track is very similar to that one, and so on and so on and so on. And what I did with this track actually, it's something new. Is just I remembered Martin Garrix's Animals track, which contains the main sound, which is just like a ping pong sound, whatever. And I found it in my software as well. It sounds actually like this. Give me a second. I'm going to show you very shortly, very quickly. So it actually sounds like this. And as I realized, you won't hear this kind of sound in a drum and bass. People trying to put this Reese basses, like these scratchy noises or whatever into drum and bass. This is what it makes so similar to all of these songs, But I wanted to create something like minimalistic synth with a heavy bass line. And this is what it makes this track different from the whole drum and bass culture, we can say.
So why go minimal instead of complex?
This whole project was super, super complex, and I literally had this 1 year gap and a break from music because of this track. But minimal sound because, as I mentioned before, it's lack of minimal stuff in this heavy bass music.
So how do you balance this simplicity with power?
Oh, with the plugins, with the knowledge,
Plugins,
But I don't know, it was pretty hard to create actually, as we can see in a project. Sorry, we can jump on a project, and as you can see, this part is only drums, right? This part is only bass line, you can see how many also automations it contains, and it was really, really complex. Then the synth. that's only synth which has these automations, right? Then just a basic piano, then just the keys to make the song sound like, I don't know, just to fulfill the song. And then this is the vocal part, right? This whole thing is a vocal part. So also, if I will open the automations, you can see how much stuff is in it. And this is just the fulfillment stuff, So, but by creating this all stuff, you're just, I don't know, it comes up automatically. This all balance. Also, fun fact about the song. Yes, I was starting to experiment with this like ping pong sound first, and with the bass line, and then I thought that I always wanted to work with really heavy vocals, like with not heavy but really powerful vocals. And these vocals, as you're hearing in a track. Give me a second. I'm just gonna mute all other stuff. So as you can hear, I just found these vocals on TikTok, literally on TikTok. Okay, I'm not trying to be racist on anything. I love black people and everything, but I just put it on my TikTok searches, black women singing, because I know that black people are actually way better in a very specific way, especially in singing, how they're expressing the vocal and how they're expressing the emotion. I just knew it, and I was like, I need to find something like this, and I literally found it.
Okay, I do love her vocals. Like those are really powerful vocals.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love them so much as well. It was actually fun to work with.
Yeah.
Really fun to work with.
Moving on, the 7th song of the album, called Bleeding Sun. I know it took you 7 years to finish the song.
Yeah.
So what kept you holding onto it for that long? Like, what happened? 7 years? That's a long time.
That's a long time, actually. Yeah. So actually, the whole story of this song, I was on a second course back in my country. I was studying. Back in the day, I was studying, and I met this girl, Laura da Morita, and she had us one of the classes about like audio stuff and whatever. And I was in there I hadn't had this kind of class, but I was super in love with the music and music creation, and I wanted to learn way more about music and stuff. So we meet with her in there, and the professor, he knew me, and he just put me in a class. And after the class, he stopped Laura and he just introduced me with her. And he said, oh, he's creating music, so we can do something together, because he knew that she is also playing piano and she's singing beautifully. And she told me that, like, I have an idea, and if we can work together, that would be awesome. And I was like, yeah, why not? So we got this like mini studio back in a college, and I'm saying that this whole track, 60% of the credits goes to her, because the vocals and the piano was from her side. She gave me this whole idea, and later on she just told me, like, Matt, create anything what you want, something beautiful, And I was like, yeah, of course. So what led me to stick with it? I don't know. It's just this song for me is literally top notch in this whole album, and especially because it's a Lithuanian song, first of all.
Yeah.
It's with the Lithuanian vocals. And second of all, it's very melancholic, very nostalgic. She sings about love and lost love, and how we can get back to it way stronger than we were before.
So how was it working with Laura da Morita on such long-term project?
Oh,
Does she still remembers that you guys have a song
No,
coming?
yeah, obviously, of course,
Okay.
because this song is we weren't working so long with her. We had like these few days to record the vocals and to record a piano, and that's about it. Everything else, like, I just made it in my software, and then I just like sending her the project, sending her like this thing, and yeah.
So more about the song itself. So the production is very unique and layered. So did it evolve naturally over those 7 years, or just like
The whole bass idea was built up in the first year, and later on, yeah, I just made some adjustments. And that's about it. So yeah, I was sticking with the original idea actually.
the original? Nice. As you mentioned, it includes one of your first drum and bass beats.
Oh yeah,
Is that correct?
Yes.
It's like where you started, kind
Yeah.
of. So how does it finally feel to release something that started so early in your journey?
Oh, it actually feels really, really amazing. I wanted to release this track like a lot of years ago. Like actually like on maybe my second or third year of this project, I wanted to release it, but obviously it didn't sound so full and as it sounds right now. But yeah, it feels great. It feels great that eventually, that finally people can hear this masterpiece, we can say.
So does finishing this track feel like closing a chapter or starting a new one?
Definitely, absolutely, yes. Like, as I mentioned in the start, this track is for me probably it's literally the top one in the whole album. And when I'm gonna release it, I can just feel how the whole stuff I've created in these years is just gonna get out of me. You know, like it's yeah, this like rock is gonna get out of my heart.
So do you want to show off some layers of the song and give it a listen, or?
I mean, yeah, obviously, of course. Fun fact, actually, I was a back vocal in this track.
Oh, wow, look at
Back
you.
in the day, I
A
was
singer
singing
as
as
well.
well. Yeah, I was singing as well, and yeah. So we have 3 layers of the vocals, as you can see. These. Wait, sorry. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. So this is her vocals. Then she actually asked me, Matt, we need like man's voice. Can you actually sing it? And I was like, yeah, why not? So yeah, I added one more harmony of my voice in the first part. You can hear it slightly, just a little bit, but it's enough. It's really, really enough for the whole song. Then yeah, the whole beat is actually very beautiful. The whole beat builds it up until the first drop. And you can hear some kind of like Latino parts, you know, Latino music parts. So this is also beautiful. And I really like this part, like when it's ending and the drop just kicks in. It's perfect for me.
I love the nature sounds in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Oh, this is actually one of what was my main ideas in this song, to add as many nature sounds as I can. In the start, you couldn't see it before, but this part specifically. So in here we have thunder, we have rain, we have birds, we have what is this, city park sounds, also thunder. Like there's a lot of different nature sounds, and it also, as we were watching Afro House song, right? This is just simplicity. Literally, how this simplicity impacts the whole track. You know, it's not so much at all in this track actually. As we can see, like this is the vocal part, right? This is the whole beat. This is just the bass line and some like strings, right? And in here, oh sorry, this is the bass line, whatever. This is we have birds noise. This is the piano and strings, and that's about it. This is the whole drop. It's so simple, and it makes such a tension and such an emotion in the whole track, you know.
Yeah.
And overall, this track was actually back in the day. My main idols were Lilla Sirnomine. You definitely know
Yeah.
them. This is this amazing group of guys. Amazing band, and they actually were creating this kind of songs back in their day. So I was like, I want to create very similar sound and very similar, you know, type of the song. And yeah, this is what we got. Then we jump into the second part of the song, which is when Laura is just singing by herself. And this is what I've added this like kick to like implement maybe also like Latino music or whatever. And also it's just like making people go with the flow, you know, just feel the vocal, feel the piano, just, you know, feel the whole music as you're reading the book, you can say like this. And then we're jumping on a build-up, which leads us to my first ever drum and bass beat I've ever created. Yeah, and actually that's about it about this drum and bass part. Like, it's just a sub bass, piano, and this sound what I found like accidentally. Yeah, literally, and you can hear like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's fulfilling the whole beat. It was like I found this sound like maybe like on the second year of this whole project, and I was like, oh my god, this is actually good. It's so random, but it's so good. It's really fulfilling, you know. And then we're jumping on the last part of the song, which gives the emotion of let it go, you know, just let go the pressure or whatever pressures you, just out of yourself. And then we're having the last part of the vocals, some vocal chops as well, and this whole like, you know, like just an explosion that like you want to let yourself go. And yeah, a lot of emotions were created in this tune. With a lot of emotions we created this tune. So and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite tracks.
No, I'm really happy to hear it, actually.
Beautiful.
Really happy to hear it.
So moving on to the 8th song of the album,
Oh, yeah.
called Motole Gemelle. It's, I guess, Lithuanian song, folk song, am I right?
It is, it actually is.
So why is it important to respect tradition in this modern world?
Because you're always going to be yourself. Like, you belong to your country, you know what I mean? Like,
Your roots.
Your roots are never going to get out of you. So this is why you have to respect it and always maintain it. We can say maintain it, or we can say always remember where you're from.
So do you think the culture is being lost or transformed today?
Yes, everything transforms, everything progresses, and as I noticed, a lot of really old cultural things from the country is dying a little. You know, what our granddads or grandmas had, we're not using that anymore. You know, so like new things are now replacing all the old stuff.
So how can young people stay connected to their heritage? By using music, for example?
I mean, yeah, you can use art to stay with your cultural stuff, obviously. But I think it depends on a person, you know, what that person actually wants to hold in his life, and yeah, and that's probably about it.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the song. So what inspired the folk choir concept?
Oh, so it's actually a pretty simple story. I was working with this guy back in my country, and he was my supervisor in the company. And he's a good producer, actually. He's living from the music. And when I came up to Australia, he noticed that I've started to release more and more drum and bass songs and my own tracks. And he was like, oh man, it's like, as you noticed, like, also creating music, and maybe we could work together, you know. And the funniest part is that he's a hip hop producer, he's producing hip hop for the rappers, and then they're buying his tracks. And he was like, "What if we're gonna just mix together the folk sounds, the hip hop, and the drum and bass?" And I was like,
Okay.
"Let's work on it." Like, I'm
Yeah.
so keen, you know. Like, I was so curious about it, and yeah.
So how did you merge it?
How did I manage it? I can actually show you.
Show me.
So if we're jumping on a track, so this is what he sent me. This is all the stuff is his stems. I'm gonna show you very quick. Except piano. Wait, oops, why? Sorry. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And we're gonna turn off this one. So this all stuff was his. Right? So this is where folks kicks in. Of course, obviously I stretched everything and made it into my BPM. And then I've added some, for example, piano. Yep. I've added some piano, I've added some heavy bass line. Oh, we're gonna wait a little, right? That's fine. So I've added some heavy bass line, as it is like Reese bass. A lot of sound design as well. Lots of H's and stuff. The sub bass and then the drums, and then eventually it kicked in like this. Yeah, and yeah, I really enjoyed to create this track. I really liked how folk sounds are getting into the drum and bass. You know, it's a way different track, and I really like that it's not too heavy. You know, it's still chill. You know, a lot of my friends said to me that like, oh, I like the chillness of this track. You know, it's just like the whole emotion of the track was just to give you this flow that it wouldn't be like it wouldn't overstimulate you. You know, just yeah. So and yeah, and that's about it.
So what reaction do you hope this track to receive?
It depends who's gonna listen to it. First of all, because like I mean, like if the Lithuanians are gonna listen to it, they're gonna be like, oh, you know, like as I said, a lot of my Lithuanian friends said already that like, oh, it really gives the nostalgic feeling, you know, or like also melancholic, like just to remember your roots, you know, and this old traditional that you can hear this old traditional folks, you know. And yeah, this is probably what I'm expecting from the Lithuanians. If we're talking about abroad people, they're gonna, I don't know. I actually don't know. Maybe people like it, maybe they won't. It all
I feel like they
depends.
will like it. It's totally different, you
Yeah.
know?
True, that's
'Cause
true.
I enjoy this track. I really like it.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's move on to the last song of the album,
Yay!
called "If You Know, You Know."
If you know, you know.
So tell me about this song. How did it happen?
How did it happen? One more competition song. One of my friends back in Lithuania, he's also a producer, and he's just sending me a link like, bro, San Holo released a competition. Like, let's get into it. And I was like, at that point, I was really, really busy. I couldn't put any time in my music. And then eventually I found some time, and then I was like, oh, bro, I started to do something. And then I found in my software, I found this new option called like AI generated things. Yeah, like, so they call it AI, but it's basically just sample packs where the software takes the sound and randomizes it. Like you can get like random beat, random synth, random bass line, and then like whatever instruments, right? And then I started to experiment with this track with the stems, and I didn't do so much on this track. I just added some sounds, but basically I left the whole original song in it.
Nice. Do you think creativity is more about invention or perspective?
I think both. It's really both. It depends on the personal. If we're talking about perspective, yeah, I mean, like you can invent anything what you want in art, but it all depends on the people perspective how they're gonna accept it, right? So, yeah.
How do you approach something that already exists and make it yours?
I've noticed in life that, from my personal experience, that it's basically it basically is easier to fix something than to create. So this song was actually also about it. You know, you're having the tools, right? You're having the stems of the song, of the original song, and then your brains, my brains specifically, are working way differently. That like they're starting to add melodies, add sounds, add like some additional things into the track, and this is where the creation starts. You know, like this is where I'm starting to create all this stuff what my brain's created inside. You know, so yeah, it's pretty actually easy
Okay.
for this kind of stuff.
So talking about the song itself, how did you shift it into drum and bass while keeping emotion?
So the whole original song was actually pretty emotional. The San Holo created this new genre called wholesome rhythm. Rhythm is the alternative genre of the dubstep, and he created it melodic, and nobody expected it all that it could sound so good. And then I just, like as I mentioned before, I just stretched everything out and kept the bass of the song and just added some minimal sounds. And that's about it.
What's your process when reworking another artist's track?
Oh, it's actually amazing. You're always thinking that, oh, you're gonna be noticed by that producer, you know, and it's like, it's awesome that you have an opportunity to even work on this kind of track, you know. So it's like, yeah, I was really, really happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to show me around the track?
Yeah,
or-
actually, yeah, of course, of course. If you would listen to the original track, so it's very, very slow and it's actually beautiful. What I did in here is just adding some drums, adding some just additional sounds. Make it more emotionally, I chose to, this is actually my signature sound. Just like a whistle type of stuff. And in the whole track, it sounds actually very good. It's really fulfilling. Yeah. Also, with the vocals, I've chose to also create some harmonies, but I chose to do it differently. This is where we have, sorry. This is where we have in here the original track, I think. No, this is this one. Oh, this one. This is the original track, right? This is how she sings. And then I've added this. And this. And then they all sound so good, actually. This like, whole harmony creates itself. And yeah, and that's about it. Like, everything else is basically just additional sounds.
Nice. Slowly.
Yeah. And yeah, basically that's about it. Yeah, nothing really changed in the song. I just made it drum and bass. That's about it.
Pretty good drum and bass.
Thank you.
So, I think we're done with the album.
Basically, yeah.
So, what kind of legacy do you want to leave throughout your music?
Oh, that you can create actually whatever you want to create. Doesn't matter. Like what your brains are receiving from the outer universe. You can do it. Just put some impact, put some time, do some research, and this is just a good example of letting yourself go from any judgment from the people, letting yourself go from the outer world, and just do whatever you want to do. this is probably what kind of legacy I wanted to leave.
So how do you find success at this stage of your life?
If we're talking about music industry, I'm not a star. I'm not a star, we can say maybe yet, but didn't even want it to be. Later on in my music production life, I realized that I don't actually want to be a star. I just want to leave, for example, these tracks in there, just to let myself go from it, and that's about it. So I'm thinking that I'm successful at this point, only because that I know I'm gonna put a check mark on one of my goals, and my goal is just to release an album. Yeah.
What mindset keeps you moving forward?
Oh, what mindset? I don't know. Positive one. Positive one.
Yeah,
I mean,
cue the positivity.
I mean, you have your own vision. When you have your vision, the mindset kicks in its own, and this is how you're maintaining the whole process.
Yeah. So looking back at all this album, what does it represent in your journey?
Actually, what I went through, through all of the emotions, first of all, then the experiences, I've actually everything what was back in the day until now, from the maddest part of my life until the chilliest, from the saddest to the happiest, and so on and so on.
So talking about the future, how do you see your sound evolving?
I'm not sure yet. Actually, I'm not sure yet because as I mentioned before, I like to listen to everything. I like to create everything as well, and we'll see. Life is gonna show us what kind of new things I'm gonna find or add into my songs.
So, okay, the last question from me. What's next? What's planned for the future? Do you have any plans, any musical kind of plans, or just, I don't know?
Yeah, so with this album, I was thinking about it for so long, actually, through this whole gap year, we can say. And eventually I've just realized that because I wasn't that consistent on this Insurgents project, so my main plan is now with this album, to shut it down.
So this is your last album as an insurgent?
We can say, yeah, the first and the last. And I'm actually really happy about this idea because there are some plans for the future as well, but I'm not going to spoil it right now. But we'll see, first of all, how this album will go.
Yeah.
How successful it's going to be. And but yeah, I'm still gonna leave the social media and everything, on the social platforms. But but for now, I know that I wanna really, really change the Insurgent into something else because I just realized in life I'm not Insurgent anymore. I mean, if you would translate Insurgent's meaning, I'm not this person anymore. I actually learned a lot of lessons in life, and yeah.
Yeah, so RIP Insurgent, I guess.
Yeah, and that's about it.
Well, it's a bit sad, but at the same time exciting.
Exactly.
It's
It was
really
literally the same to me. It's pretty sad, but it's actually really, really exciting. What comes next in the future?
I'm really happy for you. I'm really happy you finally gonna release your album.
Thank you so much.
I wish you all the best, all the success. Hope all our viewers, they're gonna listen to the album. I did. I liked it. I picked up some tracks I'm definitely gonna add to my playlists. And yeah, good luck.
Thank you so much, Gabby. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hosting this whole thing. And Jag House owner.
New job coming soon, so follow me.
Thank you so much, Gabby, for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
a sound and we're bound to make it pop. It don't stop, it don't stop, it don't stop.